All right, YouTube, we're back with another Between Two Clutches with another one of our esteemed customers who, despite watching previous videos, decided to come and talk to us anyway. So we got to give him some credit there. So we're going to bring in Garrett from Quick Rev Performance here, and we'll talk a little bit about his project and kind of what's going on. So you still there, man? You got us okay?
Oh yeah, I can hear you fine.
Probably heard more than you want to, and that's, well, as
just a little bit.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. So how goes the battle up there?
Oh, it's going. It's going strong, I guess.
Yeah.
How about your guys' place?
Yeah, we're this will go live whenever, but we're shooting this kind of just after the Christmas and New Year's holiday. So it's usually a little slow for us, but honestly, it's not been too bad. I think even we had seen, like, in the last couple of years, things have stayed pretty hopping even in the cooler months. I think we get some rebuilds. And well, like, I pulled out a flywheel here. We're looking to do a rebuild for a customer. He bought one of our earlier Challenger kits about 3 years ago. So it came back. So we're doing some stuff like that, and just, shop stuff, waiting for our sea freight to get here like the rest of the planet. But hopefully that turns. Now let's see. Refresh my whiskey soaked mind. I remember you did a Hellcat swap to a Charger, but help me out a little bit with the details, and I'm sure the 7 YouTube.
I didn't do a Hellcat swap. I just built the 6.4 that was in it. So I bored and stroked it out to a 428, so it's 7-liter. And then it was powered by a 74.5 four-Warner turbo, but I then upgraded it when I manual swapped it. I pretty much took that right out of a Challenger SRT. So it's got a TR-6060 behind it. And I ran a couple clutches through it with 74.5. And then when I stepped it up to 88, it just started blowing through them until I found you guys.
Well, hey, like I said, it's a little known secret out there that I am kind of a Mopar guy. So yeah, I think we saw a picture of the car, and I'm like, yeah, we need to be into that. Whatever he did, we need to be a part of it. So no, man, I appreciate you giving it.
That's cool, man.
But yeah, we did, because we did a quad disc for you. I think we did Ceramic Pallet Quad. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's doing great. I had zero complaints. It even rides and shifts better than honestly any of the clutches I put in it so far. So, and listen, I honestly couldn't be happier.
Just so YouTube knows, we only paid him $20,000 American to say that. So like any market. What's that?
Still waiting on that check.
Yeah, exactly. Cash it quick. All right, just cash it quick when you get it. Now, you're running the 6060 has a little better ratios than what they put in the Hellcats, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah.
You got a little more first gear to play with. What rear gear did you end up going with in that car?
So I still have the factory 306 gear in it.
Wow.
So it's still just a factory rear pumpkin. It's got upgraded axles and drive shaft, of course, because I literally split this drive shaft in two as soon as I dumped the clutch on the first hit. So it didn't even make it an inch, dude. I'm not bullshitting.
It's only funny because you're all right. I apologize. We'll edit out me laughing hysterically there. Sorry, man. Wow. Oh my. And if I remember right, you're making like beyond stupid power with this thing too, aren't you?
Yeah, on about 15 pounds of boots, I was making about 1178 and almost like 1300 torque. So, and that's at the wheels, not at the tire. Yeah. So, and then we cranked it up when we went to the half mile in Indiana. We cranked it up about another 8 to 9 pounds. So we don't really know what it's making because we haven't put it on the dyno since, but obviously the clutch went out. So at the half mile. So then after that, we ended up rebuilding it, getting the clutch, getting your guys' clutch, installed it, and got it broken. Now we just need to tune it, and I decided to put that Holly system on it while I was waiting. So
I got you.
Still in the process of dialing that in, and then once we get that dialed in, we can start tuning on it.
I was gonna say, and I don't know how you're gonna get enough fuel to that thing. Are you gonna just pay somebody to like hang off the bumper and pour it in, or I mean,
it drains it pretty quick. It's got a triple pump force system in it. but I definitely have plenty of fuel for it. So it's I'm excited for this year to come. It's going to be pretty exciting.
I just chuckled. I think, and we'll try to sprinkle in a video here, within this. I think you'd sent us a video of the 1/2 mile event, and I don't know if it was a GT 500 or like a C7, but it's kind of like hanging out front, and then the old freight train just, oh my God, it was hysterical. Had to have been flying from the driver's seat too, but
no, it was actually a really fun event. But that race you're talking about, the problem with my car, why we ended up putting the Holly system is because I didn't have two-step on it or anything once I finished building it. So I wasn't building any boost with as big a turbo as I had until like almost halfway through second gear. So it was running on NA power first through second, and then once it builds boost, dude, it's just gone.
Oh my! So, like I said, we'll try to put that video up. Hopefully, people are watching it right now. Yeah. I mean, this thing just fucking goes.
That's pretty cool.
And that was like, I think I saw that like right where we were starting to build the clutch for. I'm like, yeah, we need a piece of that action. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it was fun, man. Like I said, it was the first time out at an event like that. First time I actually had the car out. Went to the drag strip a couple of times just for testing, but it was actually the first event I entered in it, and it's pretty cool because I've never been to the 1/2 mile before. I've taken a couple customers' cars down there and watched them race, but never actually went and did it myself. And it's a completely different experience, but it was definitely fun, and I'd do it again in a heartbeat.
Say it's a long run, but not really, because you're going so fast that.
Yeah, you wouldn't think it's not much longer than your 1/4 mile, but you definitely get going a little faster. Some of them guys were out there hitting like 240, so it's pretty intense.
Wow.
I'd like to try to hit 190 this year. I think I should be able to do that.
Do you at what point do you have to start getting concerned about, say, the aero and your different loads and the car starting to lift off the ground, or have you really not had any issues thus far?
I haven't had any issue with it yet. I probably wouldn't think I'd have any issues with it until, I mean, it's a pretty heavy car, but I would say 200 plus, you'd probably be a little concerned.
Yeah.
But other than that, man, when I drove it, I think we went down the strip 16 different times, and it was flat, smooth, never had one bit of an issue.
Oh, that's cool. So, we in a previous life, before I started doing the Mantic thing, was a test engineer for Hyundai Kia, and we were out by the Mojave Airport, and they do the Mojave Mile. And what's crazy is from the interstate that kind of drives by the airport, you look out and the Mojave Airport goes out, and the last 1/4 mile of it kind of comes up. So basically that's, again, I drink a lot. So if I'm mistaken, whoever's fact checking me, just leave it in the comments. I'll get to it later. But yeah, it was pretty cool to watch them, because you'd have kind of like your cool down area. At least you're kind of going uphill, so it would kind of help. But at 240 miles an hour, ain't nothing much going to stop you but a parachute and some time. But that's good. So now, let's see, what are some of the closest events to you guys that you're maybe thinking about running?
I'll definitely be going to a couple of 1/2 miles this year, and then there's actually some North Carolina and Pennsylvania. I'll be doing a lot of roll racing out there.
Okay.
So pretty close to you, actually, I believe.
Yeah, I was going to say, what roll event is close to us? I'm trying to think. Charlotte, maybe?
Forget which one it is. I'd have to look it up, but yeah, they got some. I'd like to get into some roll racing events. I think my car would do great, especially with the rear end it's got, with power level.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm kind of not worried about is eventually I'm gonna have to put a cage in it at some point, because I'm waiting until they say you need a cage, but until then I'm just gonna keep rocking. So.
Well, God love you, dude. Be careful. I'm usually the safety. I want safety bell housings and belts and cages and straps. And I say we've all seen some goofy stuff happen, but yeah, man. I joke with people. I'm like, oh yeah, well, just put your helmet on right before you crash. You'll be fine. But yeah, do be careful with that, brother. Good Lord.
Yeah, I plan on putting a cage in it this upcoming winter, not this winter, but following next. But I'm just waiting for that incentive to be like, all right, you need a cage.
I got to do this now.
Then I'll just do it. Get it
And
over with.
that's what's crazy too. You know, the cars are structurally sound enough that it'll take the power.
Oh, yeah.
It's not affected. So, you know, in the old days, like my 69 GTX is living right behind us. You know, you start putting some power and things start twisting and doors don't want to shut anymore. And yeah, it's I say it's a great testament to how good, you know, the cars that we have today now are, which is fantastic. But yeah, dude, just man,
Yeah, I'll definitely be getting it eventually. Like I said, I plan on it for being next winter, kind of just getting my foot in the door with the whole racing, trying to go out, do a lot of events and trying to get my foot in the door. And then hopefully by next season, I'll definitely have good grasp on everything.
Yeah.
And then get my car all finished getting it ready as far as the cage, because that's probably the last biggest thing I got to do to it. So
yeah, and I'm sure somebody makes, you know, a prefab bolt-in cage for a, you know, 1100 horsepower Charger. That's, you know, that's par for the course right there. I was gonna say, you can look at we've done Texas 2K a couple times, and I know Florida 2K is starting to come on. Those are halfway deal. I don't know that Florida had the best facility. I think they need to find a smoother surface, but I could be wrong. Again, yeah, go ahead, YouTube, right? And just tell me how bad I suck. It's fine. I'll deal with it later. But yeah, no, it's like I said, the roll racing thing is kind of cool. It's kind of a newer event, you know, that I came into the last couple of years. But what else you guys are working on in the shop? What other cool projects you have passing the time?
We're building quite a bit of stuff right now. A couple of cars that we should be having ready and out next year. We got a turbo C6 vet that we're building. That's going auto. And then we got a turbo Camaro that we switched from a 6-speed to an auto. It's got a TH400 in it now. But both them, the Camaro should be right around, I'd say around 1,1300 horsepower. And then Corvette should be right around the same. And then we got another customer that has a Chevy SS that he put a built motor in. It's got a Pro Charger unit on it, and it should be a pretty quick one as well. So we should be definitely coming out with a team next year. That's for sure.
Cool. Well, yeah, man. Like I said, keep us in mind. I'll definitely come out and support you guys if you do a roll event here in North Carolina.
Yeah.
We can, you know, I can usually make that stuff pretty easily. Like I said, we were talking ahead of the video here. I combined an IKEA run for my wife as well as seeing a customer of mine out by Charlotte yesterday just to kind of check in. So you know, it's always a win-win when we get out. But now, did you guys go to SEMA? Did you go to PRI, or just kind of delayed?
No, we haven't really been anywhere. I'd like to try to make it out to SEMA next year, but honestly, since the whole COVID thing, we haven't really slowed down a beat. Honestly, we've kind of picked up, and we still got a parking lot full of cars and still about 2 months behind. So literally all we do is work, and we're just getting more and more coming. So
well, hey,
you think it has slowed down a little, but it really hasn't. So the biggest part is the parts like you're talking about, just trying to find and trying to get them. And
well, and that's you know, that's the thing. I think in some respects that's improving, but it kind of is what it is. I think if this pandemic has highlighted a lot of different things about our modern society, and I think it really highlighted just how delicate our supply chain really is. And you know, I'm kind of a dinosaur, not only in my appearance but my skill set. You know, I'm a mechanical engineer, and I've always machined parts and kind of made stuff. And you know, you get something like what's happened the last year, and it really shows the frailty in. Couple components fall off the mark, we're just stuck. But yeah, I mean, the industry is rocking. I had signed up for SEMA, and then I kind of backed out in June, I think it was.
Really?
I just didn't think. Well, I didn't think it was going to happen. I was afraid, you know, COVID was going to just run rampant. And God love them, they pushed through. They had a pretty good show, had a pretty safe show. but a lot of us just were like, I'm gonna give it another year. And I feel bad because SEMA's numbers were down and they were really trying to push it. And what can you do there? And I think PRI was decent, but I pulled out of that one too. I just said, you know what, I'm gonna give it but the industry's booming. We didn't have SEMA this year. And everybody was up, some ungodly percentage. So different way to skin the cat, I reckon. But yeah, man. But hey, like I said, I really appreciate you sitting down and doing an interview with us. We'll get this posted up there for all the folks to see. And hey, maybe in a couple months we can either revisit you at the shop, or if we come out live to see an event, maybe we'll shoot a little video there and keep everybody posted.
Sounds good, man. And like I said, once I get the car working with the Holly system and I get tuning on, I'll definitely be sending you guys some footage of it. So
yeah, right on, man.
It should be pretty interesting. It's nice watching an 8-foot flame get thrown. So it's always fun.
Just don't stand too close behind it.
Oh, exactly.
Good Lord Almighty, man.